morning light seeped through the lace curtains, casting soft patterns onto the wooden floor of Emily Carter's small cottage. She stirred in bed, reluctant to face the day. Her heart ached as she turned toward the empty space beside her, the place where Jacob used to sleep. A sigh escaped her lips as she sat up, rubbing her tired eyes. The calendar on the nightstand caught her attention. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Her stomach clenched. The first one without him. The town square buzzed with life. Couples strolled hand in hand. Flower vendors arranged vibrant bouquets, and the scent of freshly baked pastries drifted from the cafe. Emily pulled her coat tighter around her as she walked through the square, feeling like a ghost among the cheerful faces. Everywhere she turned, there were reminders of love. Laughing couples exchanged gifts and warm embraces. She lowered her gaze, willing herself to disappear into the background. The rustic cafe offered a comforting warmth against the February chill. Wooden tables, soft amber lighting, and the familiar scent of cinnamon made it feel like home. Lillian Porter, the cafe's owner, wiped her hands on her apron as Emily walked in. "Emily, sweetheart, you're looking a little lost today," she said, concern lacing her voice. Emily forced a small smile. "Just remembering." Lillian poured her a cup of cinnamon tea and set it down gently. "Why don't you come by the church gathering tonight? You shouldn't be alone today." Emily hesitated. The thought of sitting in a room full of people, pretending she was fine, felt unbearable. "I'll think about it," she murmured. Lillian gave her hand a reassuring squeeze. The lake had always been Emily and Jacob's special place, a sanctuary where they shared secrets, dreams, and laughter. Now, it was a place of memories. The water mirrored the sky's golden hues as she sat on a weathered wooden bench, watching the gentle ripples. A cold breeze whispered through the willow trees, sending a shiver down her spine. She closed her eyes and exhaled. "I miss you, Jacob," she whispered, letting the wind carry her words into the unknown. When Emily opened her eyes, she noticed something beside her on the bench. A white envelope. Her breath caught in her throat as she reached for it, heart pounding. Her name was written on the front, in Jacob's handwriting. Her fingers trembled as she turned it over and carefully peeled it open. Inside was a letter. The words blurred as tears filled her eyes. "My dearest Emily, I know today is hard, but love never fades. I am still with you, in every sunrise, in the laughter of friends, in the quiet moments by the lake. You are never alone. Keep your faith, my love. Keep living. Forever yours, Jacob." A sob escaped her lips as she pressed the letter to her chest. Had Jacob sent this from heaven? Emily sat in her cottage, staring at the letter on the kitchen table. It felt real. The handwriting, the words, everything about it screamed Jacob. And yet, doubt gnawed at her. Could this truly be a message from beyond? Or was someone playing a cruel trick? She found herself at the church, the air thick with the scent of burning candles and old wood. Pastor William Reed, an elderly man with kind blue eyes, sat across from her, listening as she explained everything. She placed the letter before him, her voice shaking. "I don't understand," she whispered. "Is it possible?" Pastor William studied the letter for a long moment before speaking. "Emily, God's love reaches us in many ways," he said gently. After a moment of silence, the pastor let out a soft sigh. "I wrote this letter," he admitted. Emily's breath hitched. "What?" "I was praying the other night, and I felt led to write it," he continued. "I didn't know why. but I followed what my heart told me. I never meant to deceive you, only to remind you that love never truly leaves us. Emily's heart pounded. It wasn't from Jacob. Tears welled up in her eyes as anger replaced her grief. So, it was just words? She whispered, her voice breaking. Pastor William reached for her hand, but she pulled away. I thought... Her voice caught. She shook her head and stormed out. Outside the church, she sat on a stone bench, the cold air biting at her skin. Little Tommy, a boy from the congregation, approached, holding out a small, heart-shaped rock. God sends love in different ways, he said simply. Emily took the rock, staring at its smooth surface. Different ways. That night, Emily curled up in Jacob's old sweater, clutching the letter to her chest. Maybe the letter wasn't from Jacob, but did that mean the words weren't true? The next day, Emily found herself at the cafe again. Lillian placed a fresh cup of cinnamon tea in front of her. You seem lost in thought. Emily sighed. I thought Jacob sent me a letter, but it was the pastor. Lillian smiled knowingly. Does that change the love in the message? Emily stared at her. That evening, she walked into the church gathering, hesitant but hopeful. People greeted her warmly, their smiles genuine. She felt something stir inside her, something she hadn't felt in a long time. Sitting beside Pastor William, Emily took his hand. Thank you, she whispered. He smiled. Love never leaves us, Emily. Back home, Emily pulled out a fresh sheet of paper and began writing. Jacob, today I learned something important. Love isn't just in letters. It's in kindness, in faith, in the people around us. And maybe that's how you're still here with me. She folded the letter and left it on the park bench, the same place she had found hers. Perhaps someone else needed words of love. As the sun rose over the lake, Emily stood at the water's edge, breathing in the crisp morning air. For the first time, she didn't feel alone. At the church, she helped arrange flowers, feeling a sense of purpose. Love wasn't gone. It had simply changed. That evening, laughter filled the cafe as Emily sat surrounded by friends. Love had never left her. She had just needed to see it.